What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today, as you guys can see in the title, we are going to be discussing all the players drafted before Devin Booker in the 2015 draft class, because as you guys can tell, Devin Booker was without a doubt the best player in the 2015 draft class, as he was able to dominate the NBA playoffs this past season. So make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It really means a lot to us. But with that being said, let's get right into the video. Devin Booker, the 24-year-old scoring phenom from Kentucky, just came off of his first finals performance. Even though he came out short, Devin Booker showed the basketball world that he is indeed ready for the biggest moments, and only his first playoff appearance. It wouldn't be a shocker for anyone to say that they believe Devin Booker is the best player as of right now to come out of the 2015 draft class, as we have seen his superb shot creation and shot making for the Phoenix Suns. But if we rewind back to this draft, Devin Booker wasn't selected number 1 or 2 for that matter. In fact, Devin Booker was on the tail end of the lottery picks at 13. So what 12 players were drafted before him, and what did scouts and GMs see that nobody else saw in Devin Booker? So let's get right into it. Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns was selected number 1 by the Minnesota Timberwolves, who at that time also had Rookie of the Year winner Andrew Wiggins. The future looked bright in Minnesota. This wasn't a bad pick, as Cat was projected to be and is still a star in this league. Cat averages his rookie season at 18 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 assists, led to him being Rookie of the Year. Since his rookie season, Karl Anthony Towns has upped his scoring averages to the mid-20 mark, and he is a 2-time All-Star and 1-time All-NBA third team. Even though Karl Anthony Towns has had a great career so far, his team has struggled quite a bit, only making the playoffs once during his 6-year tenure. However, the Timberwolves can still be a sneaky team this upcoming season with key players such as Anthony Edwards and DAngelo Russell. But speaking of DAngelo Russell, let's get right into the number 2 pick. DAngelo Russell, that was selected number 2 overall by the Los Angeles Lakers. The 6'4" guard from Ohio State was expected to be the next great Laker, as Kobe Bryant was beginning to exit his NBA career. However, this didn't work out for LA, and D'Lo, as he was traded to the Brooklyn Nets after his second season with the Lakers. In Brooklyn, DAngelo Russell seemed to get his footing as he led the Brooklyn Nets to a playoff appearance and also becoming a first-time All-Star in 2019. Things seemed to be on the up for DAngelo Russell, but once again, Brooklyn moved him to Golden State in order to get room for Kyrie and KD. DAngelo Russell had some solid performances for the Warriors, but was moved once again, this time to Minnesota, where he was paired with Karl Anthony Towns. This can be a promising duo, but as of today, Cat and D'Lo have only played 25 games with each other due to injuries and personal reasons for both players. The upcoming season will be very important for D'Lo to prove that he can be a star point guard for a winning team, as he showed flashes of that in Brooklyn. Moving on to the number 3 pick, Jahlil Okafor. Jahlil Okafor was taken 3rd overall by the Philadelphia 76ers, a team at the time that already had Nerlens Noel, their 2013 draft pick, and Joel Embiid, who was on the injury reserve at the time on the roster. Philadelphia definitely could have used Devin Booker. Even though the guard position was loaded, Devin Booker would have been a great contribution to that team as a primary scorer. Jahlil Okafor did have a solid rookie season, averaging 17.3 points per game and 7 rebounds. However, his rookie season was cut short due to a meniscus tear in his right knee. The next season saw his production drop as his scoring averages fell to 11.8 points per game and 4.8 rebounds. This can be mainly attributed to 2 things: the emergence of the Sixers' 2014 draft pick Joel Embiid, as well as him coming off of that meniscus tear. It was clear that Okafor wasn't the same player who just a year ago seemed to be the future of the franchise. In the 2017-18 season, Okafor voiced his displeasure with the Sixers and wanted to be traded elsewhere. However, as a result of his production post-meniscus tear, there weren't a lot of teams interested in Okafor's services. Okafor sat out for the entirety of the first half of the 17-18 season, until eventually he was traded to the Brooklyn Nets. His stint with the Nets wasn't enough to make a lasting impression, so he entered free agency as an unrestricted free agent. He was picked up by the Pelicans on a 2-year deal, which saw him play the role as a backup center for New Orleans Pelicans. After his 2 seasons with the Pels were up, Jahlil Okafor signed a 2-year deal with the Detroit Pistons, where he plays currently. Injuries and better talent unfortunately derailed Okafor's career so far, but he is also still only 25, so maybe he can have a resurgence. Kristaps Porzingis. At the 4th spot, the New York Knicks selected Kristaps Porzingis, a 7'4" sharpshooter from Latvia. At the time, Kristaps was relatively unknown compared to other prospects, but he quickly put all skepticisms aside after a couple games for the Knicks. Porzingis averaged 14.3 points per game with 7.3 rebounds his rookie year, and continued to improve his scoring each year for New York. In his third season, his All-Star season, Kristaps Porzingis blossomed into the franchise piece for the Knicks as he put up over 22 points per game and about 6 rebounds. Unfortunately, during a game against the Milwaukee Bucks, Kristaps landed awkwardly on his left knee after a dunk, which resulted in a torn ACL. This sidelined him for the season and the one after. While rehabbing from his torn ACL, Kristaps grew weary of the Knicks' struggles. Porzingis talked with Knicks management about the state of the franchise and his future with the team. Porzingis and his brother, Giannis, who is also his agent, expressed their frustration with the franchise's losing ways, past dysfunction on the team, and uncertainty over creating a sustainable, successful organization. This led to Kristaps requesting a trade from New York. New York traded Kristaps to Dallas, pairing him with a young superstar in Luka Doncic. The pairing seemed to put Dallas on the forefront of the best young duos in the league. However, injuries to Kristaps have stopped the process of that. Rumors of Porzingis and Luka not getting along and subpar play from Kristaps have put him in serious trade talks to be moved out of Dallas. Since his All-Star season, Porzingis has consistently averaged 20 points per game, and he is the prototype of the stretch big of today's game. Staying on the court and consistency will be the key for him moving on. At 5, we have Mario Hezonja from Croatia, who was selected by the Orlando Magic. During his rookie season, Mario Hezonja averaged 6 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist per game in 17 minutes. At the time, this Orlando Magic roster had Victor Oladipo, Evan Fournier, and Elfrid Payton, so opportunity was hard to come by. And that seemed to be the recurring theme for Mario, as his position was oftentimes loaded with players on the roster. On the wing, he was behind players such as Oladipo, Fournier, Terrence Ross, and Jonathan Simmons. When Frank Vogel went to a smaller lineup and shifted Hezonja to power forward, he was buried behind guys like Aaron Gordon, Serge Ibaka, Jeff Green, and Jonathan Isaac. From Orlando, he signed with the Knicks on a one-year deal where he averaged just under 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist per game. The following season, Hezonja joined the Portland Trail Blazers on a 2-year deal. In Portland, Hezonja failed to rejolt his career as he averaged under 5 points this season and only played 16 minutes a game. The Blazers traded him to Memphis, and after Memphis waived him, Mario decided to play overseas for the Panathinaikos BC in Athens, Greece. In Athens, Hezonja is averaging 12.4 points per game and 3 rebounds in 18 minutes per contest. With the 6th pick, the Sacramento Kings selected Willie CauleyStein, the 7-foot big man out of Kentucky. Playing as the backup center behind DeMarcus Cousins, Willie CauleyStein averaged 7, 5, and a block per game his rookie season. The next season saw DeMarcus traded at the All-Star break, which would open up more time for CauleyStein. His first season as the lead big saw him drop 29 and 10 versus the Nuggets. Willie was a solid center for the Kings, but of course Boogie's absence was too much for any player to fill. Stein's new opportunity, however, did allow room for his production to increase as he became a double-digit scorer and near double-digit rebounder for Sacramento over the next 2 seasons. During his free agency, Willie CauleyStein decided to sign with the Warriors. In San Francisco, Willie saw his production decrease as he averaged under 8 points per game and 6 rebounds. On January 28th, the Warriors traded CauleyStein to the Mavericks. In Dallas, Willie CauleyStein plays the backup center behind Kristaps Porzingis and played sparingly, just over 10 minutes per game. CauleyStein currently still plays as the backup center for the Mavericks. Next on the list, we have Emmanuel Moody, who was selected 7th overall by the Denver Nuggets. In his rookie season, Moody put up a solid campaign for the Nuggets, averaging 12.8 points, 3.4 rebounds, and 5 assists. This earned him a spot on the NBA's all-rookie second team. The following season, Emmanuel Moodier's stats regressed as he and Jamal Murray battled for the starting point guard minutes. Moody did make 41 starts over the first half of the 16-17 season, but ultimately ended up being moved to the bench and eventually out of the Nuggets rotation altogether. On February 8th of 2018, Emmanuel Moody was traded to the New York Knicks in a 3-team trade involving the Mavericks as well. On the Knicks, Moody put up his best numbers of his entire career, averaging close to 15 points per game with just under 4 assists and nearly 3 rebounds per game. However, injuries had halted any momentum he could possibly gain from his best season. Moody only played 59 games for the Knicks in the 18-19 season and has never played more than 70 games in a season his entire career. In the offseason leading up to the 1920 year, Moody signed a 1-year deal with the Utah Jazz. He believed that playing with talented, skilled guards like Donovan Mitchell and Mike Conley would help mentor him and develop him as a better, more complete player, as well as competing in the playoffs. After the 1920 season, Moody's deal was up and hadn't gotten any offers from any NBA teams. He didn't play in any games in the 2021 season. However, he had received offers from G League and Europe. Moody turned them down as he believed he would remain in the NBA. On August 3rd of this year, Moody was seen on the roster for the Portland Trail Blazers. After this, he signed with Žalgiris Kaunas, a Lithuanian club in the EuroLeague where he currently plays today. Next on the list, we have Stanley Johnson. The Detroit Pistons selected Stanley Johnson with the number 8 pick. Stanley came into the draft with big expectations, with some people projecting him to be the next Kawhi Leonard. However, Stanley Johnson never met those lofty expectations. His rookie season ended with him averaging 8 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist per game. Stanley Johnson's production in Detroit stagnated in just his rookie season, as he would go on to average no more than 8 points in his seasons in Detroit. In 2019, Stanley was traded to the New Orleans Pelicans in a 3-team deal. Johnson only played 18 games for the Pelicans, where he averaged 5.3 points, 2.3 rebounds, and 1.6 assists per game. After his stint in New Orleans, Stanley Johnson signed a 2-year contract with the Toronto Raptors. In Toronto, Stanley Johnson averaged 2.4 points in the first season and 4.4 points in his second season for Toronto. Currently, Stanley Johnson now plays for the Chicago Bulls. At the 9th pick, the Charlotte Hornets selected Frank Kaminsky from the Wisconsin Badgers. Frank put up a solid rookie campaign, averaging 7 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist per game, and he just missed out on making the All-NBA rookie team. His next season saw him improve his production, now putting up 11, 4, and 2, and putting up similar averages in his third year as well. In his 4th and final year for Charlotte, Kaminsky's production dropped, and he only played in 47 games for the Hornets as he dealt with some injuries and losing his spot in the rotation of better players. In the 2019 offseason, Kaminsky signed with the Phoenix Suns on a 2-year $10 million deal, but was waived off after the second season. He eventually signed back with the Phoenix Suns on a more team-friendly deal, averaging 9 points in his first season and 6 points in the second season for the Phoenix Suns, where he currently plays alongside Devin Booker. Following along, we have Justice Winslow, who was selected at the 10th spot from the Miami Heat, out of Duke. Justice showed great signs of elite defense his rookie season, oftentimes guarding the best players on the opposing team for the Heat. In his rookie season, Justice averaged 6, 5, and 1, earning him a spot on the NBA rookie second team. After his rookie season, however, Justice struggled with staying on the court due to health issues. The 16-17 season saw him only play 18 games, missing 16 games from a sore left wrist, and then after January 4th, Winslow was ruled out for the rest of the season after undergoing surgery to repair a torn labrum in his right shoulder. Then, in his 3rd and 4th year from Miami, Winslow suited up for 68 and 66 games respectively. When he was healthy, Winslow was a project as Heat coach Erik Spoelstra deployed him in a variety of roles from starter and role player to every position from point guard to small ball center, as he provided a type of versatility that could lead to a long NBA career in the modern NBA. In the 1920 season, Winslow suffered a back strain and concussion that originally sidelined him before a reevaluation of his back injury caused an extended period of time. As a result of this, Winslow only played 11 games that season. On February 6 of 2020, Winslow was traded to the Memphis Grizzlies in a 3-team trade. In Memphis, with the season delayed due to the COVID-19 pandemic, all signs pointed to him making the Grizzlies' debut in the Orlando bubble before he was injured in practice. Winslow severely injured his hip, requiring hip replacement surgery and adding another setback to his young career. The following season saw Winslow return to the court for Memphis, where he played in 26 games and averaged about 7 points per game with 4.5 rebounds and just under 2 assists. In the 2021 offseason, Justice Winslow signed a 2-year deal with the Los Angeles Clippers, where he currently plays now. At the 11th spot, Miles Turner was selected by the Indiana Pacers. In his rookie season, Turner averaged 10.3 points, 5.5 rebounds, and a block per game. He was awarded the Eastern Conference Rookie of the Month in February and eventually awarded a spot on the All-NBA Rookie second team. In his second season in Indy, Turner improved to 14 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 blocks per game. His third season saw his stats regress a bit due to the Thunder trade that sent Paul George to OKC in return for Victor Oladipo and Domantas Sabonis. However, Turner was still a reliable piece for the Indiana Pacers. On October 15, 2018, Turner signed a 4-year, $72 million contract extension with the Indiana Pacers. Miles Turner still currently plays for the Indiana Pacers as their starting center. Next on the list, we have Trey Lyles, the last player selected before Devin Booker, with the 12th pick. Utah went for, at the time, was the safest pick in Trey Lyles. Coming into the draft, Lyles was expected to bring versatility and his ability to run the pick and roll from the power forward position. At the time, this team had Gordon Hayward as their franchise star piece, alongside young guard talent like Alec Burks and Rodney Hood. Trey Lyles played about 17 minutes per game his rookie season, averaging 6 points, 3.7 rebounds, and under an assist per game. Unfortunately for Lyles, he could never move up in rotation to get serious minutes due to the competitive frontcourt in Utah. Whether it was Rudy Gobert, Derek Favors, Boris Diaw, or Trevor Booker, Lyles could never seem to get serious minutes in Utah. On June 22, 2017, Lyles was traded from Utah to Denver. Similar to the situation in Utah, Trey Lyles couldn't break through the rotation as there was far better talent on this team. He did average just under 20 minutes per game in 73 appearances for the Nuggets. However, the team still played Plumlee, Jokic, Paul Millsap more minutes. In his second and final season for Denver, Lyles averaged 6 points with 5 rebounds and assists per game. In the 2019 offseason, Trey Lyles signed with the San Antonio Spurs, where he would play behind LaMarcus Aldridge and Rudy Gay. In his 2 seasons with San Antonio, Lyles would average 6 and 5 points per game. On August 6, 2021, Lyles signed with the Detroit Pistons, where he currently plays today. Looking back at the 2015 NBA draft, there were a lot of teams that missed out on the opportunity of getting a scoring machine in Devin Booker. Hindsight is always 2020, but this was still a big miss for the majority of the 12 teams on this list. But that is the beauty of the NBA draft, the unexpected, the booms, and the busts. It happens every year, every season. And while Devin Booker is coming off of his historic playoff run, some of these teams are still struggling to compete. This is definitely a pick that these teams will regret not selecting for many years to come. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and share and comment and subscribe. If you enjoy quality basketball content like podcasts, film breakdowns, and live reactions on game days, Basketball Zone provides frontline coverage of the NBA every single day. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.